Peace. This is a Meat and Potato Sorcery production starring myself, the Water Alchemist, and today's topic for the occult family is red gold and blame the victim. Now, as this so-called war in the Ukraine escalates, another thing has escalated, and it was gaining ground in the 90s, but now it's went to such a fiendish level that even Victor Frankenstein would be proud, and that's red gold or plasma. So the plasma industry is $24 billion, and more people now are donating more blood slash plasma than ever. Now, usually you can get paid anywhere from 35 to, depending on how often you do it, up to $75, and depending on what state you're in. So I know like in Maryland and Michigan, you have like the CSL Plasma Center. So every particular city got their centers. I know for a fact New Jersey and New York do, as well as Philadelphia. And a lot of mouth breathers, they really don't do their research, and it shows how much they're becoming what I call just feral. They're intellectually myopic because they say things like this, because I consider myself a esoteric scientist. So sometimes I always want to check the pulse of the mouth breather to see what rhetoric they're going to espouse. And it's always ridiculous. Oh, well, they're donating blood. What they need to do is get a job. No, what you need to do is do your research. That's what you need to do. Because remember, in the 90s, people would, if they were homeless, oh, get a job and walk past you. Then you started having, when the housing crisis happened in 2008, and then with the pandemic, homelessness has been increasing. But it's been doing that for the last 20 years. And many of the people that are in homeless centers are either mentally ill or their family got tired of them and put them out, but they work. And if they did have a good job, they lost it during the housing crisis, or they went through divorce or child support. But they work. I know this for a fact. So, back to the original premise. When mouth breathers say this, what are they selling plasma for? They're selling it as an extra form of income. Now, where does it go? Towards gas, towards food, even sometimes to pay towards their books while they're attending college. That's what the mouth breather doesn't know, because wages across the board have not increased really to keep up with inflation since 1979. And even author Thomas Segru outlined this. So capitalism is a sham and it doesn't work. And we're seeing this. And then, they're saying that more people will donate blood, and that's going to double by 2027. And the source is businessinsider.com. But it's one step further, because I had a conversation earlier with my patron goddess, Athena, and she told me exactly just how much this is going to get out of hand. She said basically people depending on their genetics, and this goes beyond Henrietta Lacks, but depending on if dementia doesn't run in their family or Alzheimer's, and they still have a zest for life and they're in their 70s and their 80s, if they go to a nursing home, you better check up on them more. Same thing with children. More children now are going to come up missing ever than before, because there's going to be a market for organs like your liver, like your spleen. There's going to be a market. And most of these people that are going to be getting these so-called body parts are going to be people from other countries, and these people in the United States who are considered affluent. They're going to be doing this because people don't care about the homeless, And depending on the zip code, they care even less about children. But this is psychology to blame the victim because it's easy to do so. And people say, well, the government, they wouldn't let that happen. Let me tell you how it works with the government. The government operates by the 2 C's, contain and control. They're not going to neutralize anything, especially if there's a profit involved. So you can that's wishful thinking. Don't hold your breath on waiting for that to happen. So red gold is a valuable commodity. And you know blue gold is, and blue gold is water. So what's going to end up happening, and so-called President Joseph Biden just said that there'll be a food shortage. So just like you have people stealing gas, you're going to have people that's going to be stealing food. And those that don't have accessibility to food, what's going to end up happening is that they're going to practice cannibalism. And you know, once you try to engage in eating human beings, the body has an immunity system, and that leads to something that's tantamount to mad cow disease. And what's going to end up happening, the so-called zombies that you thought was just an anomaly, that's going to become the reality. And then the government will step in and they'll play like they're neutralizing this threat, but they're going to take them, these so-called zombies, create serums, and then they're going to sell them back to the public. That's all they're going to do. So it's all about red gold because red gold is profitable. So that's something that you need to know. And the so-called walking or living dead or the undead, what is known as a revenant, that's going to be the norm. So with that, that is your meat and potato sorcery for the day. I am the Water Alchemist. Be water, my friends. Peace.